And finally, we've got our take on Mark Ingram becoming a Hall of Famer for the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame. All righty. And
Heck yeah.
there we
Heck
go.
yeah.
He was a winner.
Man, I'm gonna tell you what. I looked at way back when. I looked at video of him in high school. That back way back when, and that was one of Coach Saban's first recruiting classes, and I was so impressed by him. His small, but I mean the way he could move through and read blocks and set up blocks, and it was so sophisticated, and he had such a good drive with his legs and speed. Not blazing speed, but for his, I mean, just very, very good. I was like, gosh, if we can get this guy. I mean, he was probably number one on my list. If we can sign this guy, and then lo and behold, there goes those dominoes and everything. And yeah, that guy, and he's a good individual. I mean, just a quality individual. So, and that helped. You know, he came in, bought into the program, was great leader, set the tone for Trent Richardson, who followed, and so I mean, it was awesome. It was awesome. So very, very, very deserving. No doubt.
Well,
No
you know,
doubt.
he learned a lot from teaming up with Glenn Coffey, you know, in '08. So that was pretty cool. It's like I
Exactly.
know, and it was just pretty cool to see Glenn Coffey and Mark Ingram teaming up in '08. Like they were making magic. And
Yeah.
oh my God, like those Mark Ingram, Trent Richardson team ups in '09 and 2010, like as you mentioned, Coach,
Yeah.
those were amazing. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Those were, yeah. And Glenn Coffey, didn't he join the military? And
Yes, he did.
yeah, he did. And so, I mean, there you go. I mean, just good, 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 good foundation. And kudos to Coach um, Saban for, back then, it wasn't just, guy's great, we're going to sign him, but Coach Saban was one of those guys that he would just look at the attitude, talk to people, sit down, have a conversation, and see, and that kind of stuff, and could measure. Is this guy willing to commit and do the things necessary to be, and offer the opportunity? And so, there were very few times that Coach Saban was wrong about. Of course, times were different back then, but very few times he was wrong about recruiting and signing individual. I think he was very good with regard to measuring character.
Yeah.
The type of player he wanted, a type of player he felt like he could develop and buy into the process.
Well, and you know, the thing too is also like Mark Ingram was having some rough stuff in his personal life, but it's
Yeah,
like,
with his dad. Yeah.
yeah, like with his dad being in jail, but it's like he didn't let it get to him. He used it as motivation for on the field. You know, it's like I'm gonna get through this, and you know, my dad's gonna be proud of me, and he's gonna be happy with what I'm doing. And you know, at that time, you know, it for those that don't don't tune into Alabama football, you know, you would think we've had Heisman winners before Mark Ingram, but we didn't. He was
Mm-hmm.
our first Heisman Trophy winner. That was huge, and he was, man, he was just like he was kind of letting it sink in that night.
Yeah, yeah, that was a beautiful scene, beautiful night, and very significant for the university. But I thought it was very significant for him, and it meant a lot to him, and that speaks to character. And you look where he is today and what he's doing with his life, and always made good decisions. So yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Coach Saban could find those winners.
yeah, I mean, it's like you'll never hear anybody say a bad word about Mark Ingram. I mean, the worst thing you might hear is like, I don't like his commentary on bid noon kickoff. But that's the most negative comment you're going to hear about him. But other than that, that's it.
Yeah, so I've listened to him. It doesn't bother me any. I mean, everybody's got their opinion. So
There we go. I just wish we had that Greg McElroy, Nick Saban, Mark Ingram selfie for, in Madison, Wisconsin. That would have been cool.
Yeah.
But hey, who knows? Maybe we could possibly get them all reunited here on Crimson Tide Live. That's a possibility.
Anything's possible.
There we go. Especially in this world. But yeah, it's like thinking about like the magic he was bringing with Drew Brees at the Saints and all over the NFL. It's like it was pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah. And Alvin Kamara, another guy transferred out of Alabama. I mean, they were a two-headed beast there. One shake and bake, and the other just that drive, that power, low center of gravity, and those powerful legs driving. So it was a great scenario for Sean Payton.
There we go.
Worked out well for a long time.
Oh yeah. Oh man, that 09 Heisman race was wild. Like Toby Gerhart, Mark Ingram, and Ndamukong. Pick Snipe, do you pronounce this Ndamukong or is it Ndamukong? Because I know like Brent Musburger called
it Ndamukong Suh.
Yeah. I mean, what's the point of having Kong in your name if you're not going to have the Kong part pronounced?
Yeah.
Good grief.
I
do not want to get on Ndamukong Suh's bad side, that's for sure.
No, I've heard stories about that guy.
God.
Man, that guy Tom Brady tells a story about how he made his life miserable one game or whatever, and I'm not here to be your friend.
Hey, maybe
Tom Brady talk about.
Oh man, maybe Ndamukong Suh and Mark Ingram are having a little something like off air where it's like no media, no press, just us.
Yeah.
Who's better? Yeah. Like that would be cool, honestly. Yeah. That would be cool.
Yeah, that was different at that time.
But yeah, it's humongous impact that Ingram had for the Crimson Tide. Wonderful young man, great guy.
Yeah, to be recognized by, I'm sure he's going to be recognized by the state of Michigan, being from there. But he also, definitely state of Alabama.
Agreed.
There's been a lot of them in the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame, but I trust them. The ones they induct are the ones that are very deserving. He's one.
There we go. He's a winner all over the place, on and off field, and on the mic, off the mic. He's doing a great job on Fox. Yeah. I mean, he's a go-to for me. He's doing great in the podcast world as well, so he's doing pretty awesome.
Yeah.